In today's episode of The Story Detective, we say goodbye to summer and hello to fall. We're also going to be looking at a life update, a channel update, and some clarification on the artistic author tag that I did a couple of videos back. That's what's coming up. Stay tuned. This will be the last of my summer videos. The next one is going to start the whole new fall-winter season. I already have the fall decor up. Let's see where Preptober and NaNoWriMo go from here. First off, let's take a look at the artistic author tag video that I did. That tag was invented by Trope Trinity Trilogy. I mentioned in the description box that it was actually her character, the character of Sonia, that was portrayed in the video. Some people, I think, got a little bit confused. I didn't actually mention it in the video. I believe I said that the tag was hers. I didn't mention live that the rest of the idea was hers, but it is. The time-traveling Game Boy, the character of Sonia, those are hers. Of course, I asked her, I told her I had one of those Game Boys. I was going to do her tag, and this was basically like a little homage to her channel. She's doing that character, which is a character from her work in progress, which I didn't actually know at the time. She's doing like little parodies with that character. The name Sonia, the time-traveling Game Boy, that's hers. My take on it is supposed to be like a parody of a parody, which is almost as complicated as time travel itself. The ideas are basically hers. The take on it was all mine because I don't know what her character is about, and I just went with whatever came to my mind. That's where that lies. That was a one-time thing for me. It's not my idea, except for the apocalyptic, darker side of it. That doesn't fall into any of the timeline or any of the things that she's done. That's completely my take. It doesn't really fit in or reflect on what she's doing. Next up is my life update. As some of you who've been watching my videos at least for the past couple of months since Camp Nano last summer, you'll remember that I started developing problems with my shoulder and my arm, and I ended up going to the doctor and getting some shots, and they were going to run some tests to find out what was going on with it because the one doctor suspected it might be carpal tunnel. After, several tests, not all of which were fun, they found out that it was carpal tunnel. The surgery was supposed to be planned for the end of September. It hasn't been slated yet. This is kind of going on their time, not my time, and it's messed up my plans and the things that I was planning for my channel, some things that I was doing, because I'm sitting around thinking I'm going to have that surgery like in a week or so. This is going to happen probably at some point in October now. The plans that I was going to do here in terms of my channel, my initial thoughts were, I had all these big ideas and I thought I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm going to have a splint, I'm going to have a sling, and they said potentially 4 to 6 weeks recovery. I don't know how much of that time I'm going to be completely inoperable because it's in my left hand and I'm left-handed, and how much I'll be able to do. So I thought I'm going to take the next couple of weeks off, batch film videos, and try to get ahead on my ideas. But then when I started thinking about that, I thought, what is the point? I'm going to lose time here on my channel. I'm going to still grasp for my initial ideas, and I don't even know what's coming after the surgery that I may get in the middle of and have to stop. That brings us into the channel update and what I plan to do. We have talked, many of us on our channels, about dealing with life interfering, dealing with things that take us away from writing, sharing our journey and our problems, our triumphs, our tribulations. So I thought, okay, this is an opportunity maybe in disguise. So what I'm going to do for Preptober, since I'm already planning a project that I'm working on, I am going to start vlogging the progress and how I'm going to go about it. What I want to do, and I believe I can sit here even if my arm is in a sling and talk about my project, that's not a problem. If I have to lap some of this over into NaNoWriMo, I guess I can dictate on my phone. I can try to plan for and figure out ways to, again, document the journey. Win, lose, or fail, I've at least got something going on my channel. So that's going to be what's coming up for the month of October. probably into November as we get into NaNoWriMo. As far as my NaNoWriMo project, I do every project a little bit differently. I like to kind of break up the monotony, try new things. I like to keep it from becoming stagnant or routine. As someone who's been creative most of my life and worked on deadlines and projects for a number of years, I know that when you fall into those routines and you start doing it as your job, complacency can follow. There's not really time to pull back when you're doing it on a deadline. Often you're moving ahead with what you know. In terms of having fun and also broadening my own horizons, what I decided to do is I recently bought a copy of Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I've heard so many people talking about that book and bragging about how good it is. I have the original Save the Cat. I have it on my Kindle, so I don't have it like a workbook. So I bought like a physical copy of Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. This will be part of the journey for Preptober. I think will be easy to do, and something interesting is taking Save the Cat, going through the beats, what works, what doesn't work. It will be kind of a Save the Cat Preptober. There are some things in the original beats that I thought I don't like as well as story engineering, which has fewer beats and leaves a lot more up to your imagination and just gives you criteria for each of the parts of the 3-part structure, which is broken up into 4 parts because that middle part has the midpoint that divides it into 2. Larry Brooks, who wrote story engineering, kind of divides that into 4 equal parts, which makes it 4 short journeys rather than expanding onto that long middle. And I think the long middle is where a lot of us get bogged down. Liking that better and having an actual personal relationship with Larry Brooks, I came to know that quite well. I use that as a basis for my structure. Just because I know it, I kind of do it automatically. The Save the Cat beats has that same 3-part structure, but they have like 15 beats. There's a lot of them in there. Some of those beats are very good things. And the one thing that I like about what I'm reading so far in Save the Cat is they hearken it to psychology, which I've always said structure is based on psychology. It's the action and the reaction of the character that those beats are based on. Even though a lot of people look at it as a formulaic thing for plot, if you look at it as psychology, it makes sense and you can utilize it in so many different ways. That's going to be the experiment for Preptober. I was going to be doing this in the background anyway. Now it's come to the foreground because when life deals you lemons, you have to make lemonade, as they say. So Save the Cat is going to be my lemonade. That's my message for today. And until next time, keep those keyboards clacking, keep the gears in your imagination turning.